Good afternoon, this is Pat Walker, Mission Winners, doing a video overview of the ETFs. Hope you're all having a good extended 2.5 day weekend. How about that? Not a 3 day, but I'll take the 2.5. Take it anytime. Anyway, what do we like to do? We like to look at the ETFs. And there's a reason why. It's not because we like to look at a ton of charts. It's because we have a limited amount of time. We have a limited amount of money. Why don't we use both assets wisely? By looking at the ETFs, we can see industry themes. And here's a fact. Leading stocks produce leading groups, and leading groups produce leading stocks. We want to key on strength. And strength in the industry, strength in the stock. So here we go. We're going to take a look at the big picture. On the upper left-hand corner is the ticker and the name of the ETFs. This is robotics, okay? Robotics. And it's picking up a little bit, but there's a ton of overhead supply. By the way, this is a daily chart. The purple line's the 200-day. The green line's the 50-day, both simple, 200 simple, 50-day simple, 21-day exponential, 8-period exponential. It's pushed through on good volume through the 200-day. Perhaps it'll form a handle here. There's a lot of overhead supply, but it does tell us something. The group's improving a little bit. There we go. Let's move on to the next one. The next one's cloud computing. It's also improved some. And you can see these tops across here. And there's leading stocks in this group, which is by default why the ETF is also going. So this would be nice. It's formed a cup. It's forming a handle. Perhaps this could take out this white line, form this handle, and do it with heavy volume. That could be a potential buy. Now let's take it a step further. It also tells us something else. Not just that the ETF is doing okay, but most likely, definitely, stocks in that group have improved. If they haven't, the ETF wouldn't be going up, okay? So just remember that. So maybe look at some cloud computing stocks. There we go. And you can punch up CLOU and find out maybe their top 5 or 10 holdings and see if there's an opportunity there. There we go. But the ETF doesn't look bad also. Let's move on here. The Dow, DDM, this is the leveraged ETFs, picking up a little bit. And what does that tell us? The rally's spreading out a bit, and we like to see this. Diamonds, same situation, Dow Diamonds. Picking up, shows the Dow 30 is picking up a little bit. Continue onwards. IBD 50. Now this is a good lesson. Here's the Dow above all the moving average, okay? Here's the IBD 50. It's still below, it's above the 50-day. The 50 days falling, still below the falling 200-day. The IBD 50 is still lagging a little bit. It's telling us it's still a relatively selective rally. And we don't get sloppy. Continue onwards. This one focuses on MAXLIST stock, and this one's done fairly well, which is also why we've been involved in MAXLIST stocks for a while, okay? NVDA, Amazon, Microsoft, the list goes on. So this is basing here. Maybe this will form a handle and then lift off again. That could be a potential buy. But it does tell us something. The MAXLIST stocks aren't doing too bad. That's good to know. Now this is China, all right? This is really lagging. What does that tell us? Stay away from Chinese stocks. That's simple. By the way, when I say that, I'm not being political. We don't get wrapped up in all that. We're just saying the Chinese stocks aren't really participating. Leave them alone. Gold miners picking up a little bit, but it really needs to see some power here pushing through these tops and pushing through the 200-day, okay? But there was decent volume on this bar and decent volume on this bar and this bar. So there is some accumulation, but there's a lot of overhead supply that it needs to get through. And I'll do something as a courtesy for everybody. We'll get rid of that first, and we'll do this. Just a simple flat line. That's it. Nothing fancy. Take that out. But there's the 200-day right there. Remember this, and I said this at the IBD meetups for years. The air is better above a rising 50-day moving average line. The air is better above a rising 200-day moving average line. Simple, but it works. Continue onward. Now gold, see, this is why we do this. Look at this. Gold miners really not doing too much. But gold doesn't look too bad up here, does it? You've got these tops here. Here's the weekly. And you can say, oh, and this is why I have weekly always. I have templates with weekly on the left and daily on the right. When I scan all the MarketSmith charts, I always have weekly on the left and daily on the right. You can see these tops across here. Gold doesn't look too bad going across these tops. What's it going to need? It's got a cup with a handle. It's going to need volume across these tops. And again, this is the weekly, and here's the daily. Go across these tops, and it will need volume. Please remember that. Doesn't look too bad. Biotech's really lagging, leave it alone. By the way, you can say, gosh, you really analyze this one. You kind of want to faster. Yeah, it's below all the moving averages. Why look at it? It's rallying up on decreasing volume. We've got a limited amount of time. I'm not going to chew on something that I know or really analyze something that doesn't look good. Move on. Train our eyes for what to look for. Oil, energy, lagging, leave it alone. Software technology, you can see the name up here, is moving, which is why we have been involved. It's been leading in quite a bit of software technology stocks. There you go, working. Continue on, and so that tells you to continue looking for it. Medicine, lagging, leave it alone. Mid-cap, picking up just a little bit. Still some overhead supply, but it is improving. Which tells us the rally's picking up a little bit. Oh, look at this, aerospace and defense. This has been strong. Could look at some ITI and see, are there any stocks in that group that have potential? Here's the weekly, and you can say, oh, I see tops here. Now, here's a good lesson for everybody. This is the weekly chart, and I'll draw this for you. And again, this is what we teach. This is what we do. It's a V-shaped base. Also note this, it's going up on good volume, but it's going up on steadily decreasing volume. It needs to form a handle here to absorb that gain from down here. So I'd be cautious with it, but it's a group that is improving a little bit. A lot of overhead coming across these tops though, and it took a huge move just to get up to the pivot price. Riskier to buy at this point in time. Home construction's looking decent, got a base across here, not too bad, kind of a cup with a handle. You see it? And I'll draw it for you. And again, we try to, emission winners, we just don't give ideas, we try to educate. You've got a cup with a handle. Could it lift across these tops? Yes. What would it need? It would need to lift off with volume. But it does tell us the home building stocks are improving. Let's continue onwards. We got a bad data point here. Hold on. I'm going to delete that bar real quick. Just to make it easy. There we go. S&P 500 growth has been steadily rising. What does that tell us? Well, I guess we could, back in here when it's going, maybe look at some growth stocks. And we have. We have, and they're working. The ETF was telling us to. Continue onwards. IWM still lagging. Needs to push through the 200-day. There's not a lot of power there. I'd be careful. Showed some lift here. Needs to go across these tops. Now, if this takes out the 200-day, you know what that will tell us? That the rally's spreading out. Could it do it? Yes, it could. Yes, it could. I'm not saying buy IWM, but I am saying you might look at some small cap stocks. This is the Russell 2000 ETF. Small caps. Real estate's picking up, but it's still below the 200-day. I'd leave that alone at this point in time. Transportation picking up, doesn't look too bad, tells us the rally's spreading up. Airlines is really lagging, okay? There's not a lot of power with airlines. I'd be careful with airline stocks. Continue on. Regional banking, a lot of overhead supply. It is improving, and that's nice to see. And you can see there's kind of a cup with a handle formation here, but not a great group at this point in time. Mid-cap's starting to pick up. What does this tell us? The rally's spreading out. Isn't that neat? Keep on. You'll like when I get to a couple of these other big ones. Oil services is still lagging. Be careful with it. Pharmaceuticals picking up. A lot of overhead supply. Rallying up on decreasing volume. I'd be careful with the pharmaceuticals. QLD. We own QLD down here. Downward sloping trend line. More working up. Have sold several times into strength. Clean tops across here. If this could form a handle and then lift off through here, guess what? Yeah, we'll buy more. We'll buy more. But I want to point something out. You see this way down here with this bottom lifting through here with volume and pushing through the ADMA? There you go, folks. That's a gift. And yeah, we bought that. We've sold some couple of times into strength. We're in great shape. What I'd like to see, form a handle here, then take out these tops, and guess what? Yeah, we'll buy more. And that could be a new buy too. Same thing's true QQQ, but I like QLD better because you get more bang for your buck. And it's still liquid, by the way. Retailing's picking up a little bit. Doesn't look too bad. Looking at some retailing stocks. Silver's picking up a little bit. Maybe looking at some silver stocks. Steel picking up a little bit. I'm not telling you to go on a buying rampage, but what's the big underlying theme here? It's this, that the rally's spreading out. You can see it in the ETFs, the industry groups. SMH, we're involved with some semiconductor stocks. This is lifting up. It'd be nice if this could base and take off again. But what's it been telling us here for a while? Hey, you might want to look into semiconductor stocks, some semiconductor stocks. And we have. You know what was a major portion of this move, folks? NVIDIA. And when you see the MAXLIST video, you'll say, boy, now I see why they bought that at Mission Winners. That was a monster run. There we go. Spiders, looks fine, okay. The S&P 500 tells us the rally's spreading out. Same thing's true with SSO. The rally's spreading out. I like these tops across here, and I'll draw this for you. This will help you, right there. And it's nothing fancy, folks. It's just a simple flat line. Now, the kicker is it's made a good move to get to that pivot, and it's done it on decreasing volume. It would be nice if this could form a small handle here to absorb some of these gains and then lift off. Coming into the end of the year, that could be very constructive. Now, am I saying it's going to happen? No, but I'm saying we always have a plan. Let's continue onwards. Here we go. Solar, picking up a little bit here, but note the overhead supply. Look at the compare and contrast. Oh, this is near some tops. Oh man, this is way down there. What does it tell you? Stay away from the solar stocks. Stay away from the group. Done. There we go. Small cap still lagging. Better money's other places. Uranium's picked up a little bit. Maybe look at some uranium stocks. Doesn't look too bad. Oil. Here's another energy ETF. What does it say? Stay away from energy. It's that simple. That simple. Don't say, well, maybe this is when it's going to turn. I don't want to play the maybe game. I want to go where there is stuff that's doing well now. Stack the deck in your favor. Consumer discretionary is picking up a little bit. Doesn't look too bad. Maybe find some consumer discretionary stocks. Aerospace and defense. Boeing's a chunk of that. This is lifting up. Doesn't look too bad. Find some aerospace defense stocks. One thing I will say, though, it's a bit extended from this pivot right here. I'll draw this for you to help you. Did it on a gap up, too. Okay? And it's lifting, but it's lifting on decreasing volume. I'll draw this to help you. This is important. These are the things that I teach. And it's not rocket science. It's simple and conceptually correct. It's rallying up on decreasing volume. Less volume means less buying pressure. Less people buying it, right? So maybe it'll form a top here and take off. But at this time, just be a little cautious with it. Be cautious buying it. Continue on. Biotech. Another biotech ETF. Leave it alone. Done. Home builders picking up. Oh, look at that. Look at the base right there, folks. We looked at another home building ETF that doesn't look too bad. See how you connect the dots? That's why we do it. This formed a couple with a little handle. Take out those tops. That would be nice to see. We're about done here. Materials picking up a little bit. How do you build houses? You need materials. It's not really clean entry, but it's backing up the home building stocks. Communications is acting decent. That's good to see. Energy, another energy ETF. Leave it alone. Done. Financials picking up. It's nice to see financials participating in a market rally. There's no there's no real clean entry on it right now, but it is improving, and I like that. Continue onwards. Industrials picking up a little bit. Tells us the rally's acting decent. We like that. XLK, look at this technology. You go, gosh, Pat, that's a pretty good move. Yes, and that's exactly why we own quite a few technology stocks and have for a while. It's been leading. It's outperforming. Strength begets strength, and that really helps us. I'm not saying buy it here, okay, but I am saying it was telling us to buy technology stocks. Continue onward. Consumer staples lagging. Leave it alone. Healthcare is really not much power. Leave it alone. Consumer discretionary is picking up a little bit. Not too bad. I like that. Metals and mining picking up a little bit. Not too bad. Looking at some metals and mining stocks. Another energy ETF. You see how we built a case? There's another one. What's it telling you? I just showed you a bunch of ETFs that don't look too bad. This one's lagging. Stay away from it. Done. Oh, maybe it's going to turn. I don't want to play the maybe game. I want to put the stack the deck in my favor. I want to find strength now and add to it or buy it. There we go. Retailing, it's picking up a little bit. Not too bad. Be nice if it went base through here, form a little handle, and then take off. Now the retail sector. Okay, good. Continue onward. Software. It doesn't look too bad. There's a base right here. We're involved with software already, and it's been a good run. You'll see when we look at the stocks we own. Let's continue onwards. Apple. I like this base down here, and I like how Apple has moved. And team, again, I stress, and this is for everybody. This video is for everybody. It's a MAXLIST stock. We are looking at the MAXLIST stocks, and you will now see why they are on the MAXLIST. It's made a decent move. Perhaps it will form a handle and take off. There's no clean entry here at this point in time to buy, to make a new buy. If you own it, just let it work. If it starts to lose the ADMA, you could sell some. Continue onwards. Amazon, you see the low-level base down here? We were buying this, and this has been a good move for us. I mean, a good move, and we're letting it work. Here's what I'd like. See the price alerts? I'd love this to form a small handle up here and then take off again. And if it does, guess what we'll do? Yeah, could be a new buy, or we'll buy more. There's Amazon. Continue onwards. Alibaba. Do a compare and contrast. Well, it's kind of going up in price. It ain't doing nothing. In 1 second, it says there's nothing to do with it. Move on. Try not to overanalyze these. This will really help you. And I've done this for years, decades. And this is what I say, and it's rather simplistic. This is what I used to say at the IB meetups when I was teaching. The air is better above a rising 50-day and a rising 200-day. The air is better. Well, look at this. There's nothing there. Leave it alone. Move on. Don't overthink it. There's nothing there. Continue onward. BIDU's picking up some, and there's some volume coming into it. It's made a decent lift off the bottoms. Ton of overhead supply here. What's the best thing this could do? Base for a little bit, form a handle, and then take off. It has improved. That's a start. Wouldn't do anything with it here, okay? But it is improving, and that's good. Google. Google started to go, and then it fell back. What's the best thing this could do? I will tell you. I will show you. Form a little handle right here. I'll get rid of this line here so it doesn't confuse you. You can see these tops across here. I will draw this for you just to help you. It's a V-shaped cup, and it's an aggressive pattern, okay? And it's rallying on decreasing volume. Those are all negatives, folks. I'm not trying to sell you on something. I'm trying to point out pluses and minuses. The best thing this could do is form a handle here, a base, and then lift off. And if it does, that could be a potential buy. Give it a couple more days. We'll watch and see what happens. All right? Continue onwards. Goldman Sachs. Oh, look at this. I've already drawn it. Why? Because it was on the key list for the VIPs already. You've got yourself a cup with a handle here. I like this. A MAXLIST stock, folks. It's Goldman Sachs. It's a franchise company. All these are franchise stocks. Base in here. By the way, when I say that, I'm not trying to talk you into buying it. I'm just pointing out the pluses in the chart patterns. You can see this forming a cup and a handle. Something worth watching. MasterCard. Great big V-shaped cup. It's moved up quite a bit, okay? There's no real clean entry here at this point in time. It'd be nice if it could form a handle. I don't know if it will. And then lift off. Then you'd have a V-shaped cup with a handle. For right now, just leave it alone. Meta, owned from lower, and it's working. It's working nicely. We'll watch this. It's walking up the ADMA. We'll let it work. It's trending. Just let it trend and see what it does. Okay, no entry for a buy there. Microsoft. Look at the clean and simple base here and a clean and simple base here. Buys here, and it's working. And note the trend up the ADMA. MAXLIST stock. Is there a clean entry here? Here's the best thing this could do. And we always have a plan. This is what I teach at Mission to Winner. This could go sideways here for a couple more days, form a handle, high handle up here. That could be a potential buy. Note the trend up the 8 EMA, as I cited on other stocks. We love that. Use that to your benefit. It's working. Everything's fine. Netflix, lower level base buy right here, and note the trend up the 8 EMA again. And it's, by the way, I need to pause here and say something. Please do not think, oh, I'm bragging about stuff. That's nauseating. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just pointing out the variables, the observations that we use in buying stocks and letting them work, okay? Trends pay more than all the decisions you'll make, folks. And by Jove, I wish somebody would have said that to me a long time ago. A long time ago. So, it's trending nicely. We'll watch this and see what happens. Nothing really to do with it. Here's what I'd love. See the high over here? I'd love this if this could. I'm going to make a big crosshair on here real quick. I like having a big crosshairs, by the way, so you can see the lines faster. You can see these tops across here. It'd be great if this could form a handle and then take off and lift again. It's trending nicely for us. As I stated, let it work. By the way, I'm not bragging here, okay? We locked some profits in on it already. Okay, we'll just let it trend and see what it does. NVIDIA, we had buys down here, and we sold this, and this was a really good run for us. We were buying this when nobody else was talking about it. It was telling us to. It's a MAXLIST stock. Rallies into resistance, gets loose. This earnings did this, okay? That's serious institutional selling. What would we like to see? And I don't know if it'll happen, but we always have a plan. We teach it. It'd be great if this just kind of goes sideways for a little while and then lifts off again in a good market. We'll watch and see. There we go. Nothing great to do with it at this point in time. Tesla, I'll draw this for you. Love simple trend lines, folks. There you go. Could this base and then take out that trend line? Yes. And what do you notice about it? Well, see these green volume bars? There's some accumulation coming into it. We like that. Watch and see what happens here on Tesla. Possible candidate. Visa has steadily been lifting. I think some people own it. It's just working. It's a little bit extended now. Good volumes coming into it. Is there anything to do with it here? Not really. Maybe buy more. But to make an initial buy here, it's too risky. Don't do this. This is a lesson for everybody. I just want to share. Buy right, sit tight. Buy at the right spot. Chasing price indicates high emotions on our behalf. High emotions and clear decision making are mutually exclusive. Okay? Do things, use tactics that minimize emotions. Clean and simple entries. It will really help you. Clean and simple entries backed by volume. Why? That volume tells us other people see what we see and they're acting on it.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.